What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI, the Gentleman on IG and Facebook. This is a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men podcast. It's still our short, bullshit-free step out of our comfort zone to talk about all the emotional ups and downs along the journey to happiness. Hopefully, this is our midweek reminder of how dope it is to be black gay men who love black gay men. I am Jay the Gentleman. This is Dear Black Gay Men podcast. Now, let's get into the episode. So, for those who are subscribed to us on Patreon, I am shirtless. Cause there was a time I did Dear Black Gay Men podcast, and it was, the middle of the night. I remember doing episodes when I'm ass naked. I am wearing clothes. I'm just not wearing a shirt. I just washed my hair. Y'all, for those who follow us closely, I just cut my hair off. I'm trying to get my waves back. It's just a whole bunch of changes we're going through. And I had something to say. I wanted to get it off my chest, and I just haven't had my chest out. For those who do not see me, subscribe on Patreon. It'll be there. But we just got back from St. Louis. I attended the NASEM Incorporated, which is a public health organization here in Atlanta. They sent me to St. Louis to attend their conference, and I interviewed some people. And it's ironic that this is the first episode in Pride Month. It's also the countdown to the end of season 3. We have 4 more episodes. Our last episode of season 3 is June 27th, I believe. The last Thursday of the month. And then we'll be taking a little hiatus, and then we'll come back with all new episodes in the fall. But I'm very, very excited because long time ago, we had a person on our team. He's no longer with us, but we had a person on our team, and he made the observation that I was talking to people that I knew. And having a conversation with somebody I know is easy because I know them. Like, it's simple for us to, talk to my homegirl or my best friend or somebody that I go way back with. And that is one level of comfort that I try to create everywhere we go here on the podcast. But if we are to grow, I got to talk to people that are outside of my comfort zone. And so at the time, we brainstormed a list of, who are the dream guests. It's a note that me and the whole team have on our iPhones, because luckily enough, everybody on the team has an iPhone. So we add names to the list. We check names off. But all season long, we've probably been around the 15 to 30 list of dream guests. No shade to anybody that we've talked to. It's just there were some really, really big names that I had no idea we would get. I was like stabbing in the dark. Like Karamo Brown is on my list, or Duran Bernard is on the list. The Terrell Show is on the list. And it's just really, really big names. And I was like, I don't know how we gonna figure out how to get in touch with these people. And more importantly, I don't know if we are big enough a brand to even reach out and they reach back. So, they're just dream guests. Pie in the sky, like Oprah. Oprah's on my list too. She's not LGBT, but, Oprah has inspired me to do so many things, and I want to talk to her. So, we just have a laundry list of people from every corner of culture that we're like, oh, I want to talk to them, right? If y'all know anybody who I've named so far, send them this episode of the podcast so hopefully we can figure out a way to get to them, right? So we have this list, and number one, thank you for showing little black, gay, queer, trans people that we could inspire to do whatever. And your conquering of the internet by hook or by crook has opened the door for all of us. I really wanted to do that. And so I'm getting ready to get on this flight to St. Louis. And 2 of my team members, Royce and Aaron, are coordinating a whole bunch of interviews that I'm conducting in St. Louis when I get there at the conference. And just off the cuff, Royce is talking to Aaron in this conversation, and I'm just in the group chat because, I'm on the team. And Royce and Royce says to Aaron, Aaron, can you think up some questions because we have T.S. Madison on the list? Say what now? Now, normally I don't get involved in the conversation between team members because they probably going to figure out a whole bunch of things before I have to jump in, before, I had to do something or be somewhere. And so but I'm sitting at the airport not doing nothing. And I look at the phone and I text back and I said, I don't think I read that right. And Royce was like, what do you mean? And I said, T.S. Madison, tiptoeing in my heels, T.S. Madison. The big dick bitch, T.S. Madison. I step out my black car, T.S. Madison. Get a job, own a business, bitch, suck a dick, T.S. Madison is on the goddamn schedule for me to sit down across from her. I could have shit a brick. I could have shit a brick. And he's like, yeah, duh. Like, what's tea? So I sat with that for a minute and I had to, get myself together. I had to figure shit out, right, for myself. And on the flight, I was flying by myself. Well, Royce eventually, we met up at the gate. But I had to sit and meditate for a minute. And it wasn't confirmed that she and I would have conversation. And then I said, I've got to surrender this. Hear me good. Like I told you, Oprah inspired me. So forgive me for getting all deep, but Oprah inspired me. And she said that when Oprah wanted the color purple, she interviewed, cast, heard nothing. And then so she thought it was because she was fat. So she went to a fat farm. And, Alfre Woodard was in the running to get the part. And she said, I have to be able to surrender this until I can let it go. And then she didn't want to just be able to let it go. She wanted to be able to let it go and go see the movie with Alfre Woodard in her role and be happy and understand that it was good that happened. And so I was like, okay, well, I wanted to talk to T.S. Madison for years. And now I just wrote it down. I've manifested it, but now I got to let it go. Because I don't want to be caught up in the idea that if it doesn't happen, then that means I am insufficient. So I they're working out whatever they got to do. And I got into the place where I could surrender it. I had to let it go. I had to surrender this thing to the bigger thing, to the universe, to God, right? And so we get off the plane in St. Louis. I don't have time to check into a room. I'm dog tired, but I got to change of clothes. I took a shower, and I'm getting ready to put on this outfit that I've been thinking about wearing for a while. Of course, it was a crop top showing off a little belly button because clearly I have no problem showing off this body anymore. But because y'all can see, I got the body on. But I'm getting ready, plugging the iron, and I burn a hole through the shirt that I was about to wear. Clear through. And it's right, left chest. So I can't cover it up. I can't play it off. I tried to put that shirt on with a bag. I said, it's black. So I was like, can I put a black shirt under it? There's no disguising the fact that there's a hole burnt in this. So I saw it and I said, well, I want to talk to T.S. Madison, but I've surrendered it because I don't want anybody to think that if that didn't happen, that we didn't do a good job. But I did think, well, what would T.S. Madison do? And T.S. Madison would just be herself. So I put on a crop-ear top that was see-through with my favorite pair of pants, my favorite pair of J's that I had in my bag. I had on a Dear Black Gay Man hat, and I just said, I'm going to be myself. I surrendered everything. All I can do is be me. And that was the bigger lesson. I think it's no coincidence that this is the first episode in Pride Month where, we celebrate being the girls, being the gays, the he's, the she's, the theys, the gays, right? And so much of being one of us is wrapped up in performance politics. We try to be masculine so we get the boy. We try to be this so we can get that. We have to disguise our sexuality to get the job. We have to disguise our blackness to, in some cases, to be safe walking down the street. Like there's so much of shrinking that we have to do as Black people, Black LGBT people, Black gay people, Black gay men. That at some point, I think that becomes our norm. The shrinking of self, the fitting in, trying to not create too many waves. But I don't think we do any of ourselves a service in that this month. This month is when we got to kick it into overdrive. We got to kick it into high gear, and we got to, be more of ourselves. And so if there's one thing that I learned as we build this podcast, as we round out season 3 and start preparing for season 4, because season 4 is absolutely happening, is that I don't know that it's ever been demanded of me to be myself. I don't know that anything in my life has ever asked me to be authentically me until now. Yes, I burned a hole in that shirt, but it really wasn't what I would have worn if I was absolutely being myself. It was, what I thought I was supposed to wear because I'm an interviewer. And the funny thing is, I was wearing that mesh, and T.S. Madison said, "You fine. Baby, you could not." T.S. Madison, with those big, beautiful titties and that fat ass and her magical personality and a good hair on. She had her good hair. She was absolutely Puerto Rican. She said, "You fine. Thank you." And so when we're faced with these opportunities to move forward, to do, to be, to execute, to break the thing open, right? I think the only thing that we can do to achieve is to be ourselves. So, dear Black gay men, I hope that you will join me this Pride Month in just being yourself. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG. The podcast is new every Wednesday. So screenshot this episode and share it to your IGs. Tag at JAI the Gentleman so I know you're tuning in. And leave us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. It really does help us find new listeners. If you want to support Dear Black Gay Men podcast, the easiest way is to pick up a DBGM hat or hoodie or t-shirt. You can shop now at dearblackgaymen.shop. I am Jay the Gentleman. This has been Dear Black Gay Men podcast, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.